Okay, folks. So today I'm going to explain you about some information about the AWS. Now, when we talk about AWS, that's the Amazon Web Service. So let me tell you that this AWS is nothing but it's a product. Right? So we are into the one of the cloud product like in AWS. So for an example, so there are multiple products. One of the key product is an AWS, then Azure, GCP, Oracle, that is an OCI. Now currently the AWS hold the number one positions and AWS has a highest market shares in the industry. Now why exactly? So there are two reasons. The first main reason is that AWS is such a company who introduced such a service into the market. And the second thing is that this is in cloud, so AWS directly born into the cloud. Other product like in Azure or the OCI and other things, they adopt the technology like in cloud, but the AWS directly born into the cloud. So let me introduce myself before I started what exactly the AWS, why we required it, what exactly the opportunities. Let me introduce myself. My name is Amir. Okay. I born and brought up in Nashik. Right, and currently you can say currently I'm earning in Pune. So the Aishwarya, just one change that I'm having 15 plus years of experience in the industries. So when I say about no, talk about the experience, so basically I'm the cybersecurity guy. So my daily job role is to manage the security on different cloud product like the AWS, the GCP, Oracle, the Azure, and in China that's in Alibaba. So my daily job is to implement the different services and also check the securities. So for the AWS also I manage the account, different account. My job role is also not only the security but also design, manage, and planning. Okay, it means how exactly we can use the proper resources, that is in resource utilizations, how I can provide the ROI, that is in return on investment on an AWS. So I completed a different certifications like then Cisco certifications, Microsoft certifications, Red Hat certifications, the ITL as well, and also I'm currently holding more than 5+ certifications on the AWS and 2 certification on the AWS. So I served with the different companies like in Quick Heal, WordWiz, Collis, and all. And I'm also a freelancer and technical trainer because the training is my passion. And if the passion becomes become your profession, then it's a beautiful combinations. So I follow that my passions. So I'm into the training from more than last 5+ years. Until now I completed more than 100+ batches for the AWS, then the AWS security, Azure, and all. So that's it about me. Okay, just small introductions. So now today we are here to understand the AWS part. So here you can see AWS provide a different certifications. Now when we talk about the certification, it means that's the foundational certifications, associate certifications, then you also have a professional certification, and you also have a specialty certifications. So these are 4 certifications type which AWS provide. Now let me explain you a little bit about the certifications, and then I'll also explain you about the virtual machines, which is one of the most widely used service in the AWS. So you might thought that okay, how I can start my journey in the AWS, where to start, right? So that's the one of the most common questions. Let's say if you want to make a career in the AWS. So let's say if you are developer, if you are the architecture, if you are the administrator, if you are the network administrator, you are managing the database. So AWS has all the certifications type. And now, as you know that everyone is now already moved to the cloud. So no matter whether you are from the developer background whether you are from the DevOps background, FinOps, or any background, you must need to understand at least one cloud product. Because now why? Because reason now AWS, most of the organization they have entire workload on the AWS and they need a person who manage this. And as well as AWS has very much inbuilt tool available where you can help these tools and you can manage the environment. So how exactly you can start your career in AWS? So here you can see you can start your career either from the foundation and associate. So let me explain you what exactly it is, right? What exactly the foundational, associate, professional, and specialty. So in case if you have any doubt, any question, you can type the question on the chat. I'll also answer those questions in middle of the sessions as well. If you talk about the foundational, so AWS has the Cloud Practitioner Foundation, and recently they have added the AI Practitioner Foundation. Now, for an example here, let's say if AWS is alien for you, right? You don't know about the cloud, you don't know about the AWS. Career by using this or by applying the Cloud Practitioner Foundational. Why? Because in Cloud Practitioner Foundation, we explain you about what exactly the cloud, what exactly different type of clouds, and it also explain the basic information about all foundational services. Recently, they have also started the AI Practitioner Foundations, and we are also going to start the batches for the AI Practitioner Foundation as well. For an example, now here, this certification is not talk about how exactly you can do the AI, right? So here, what exactly it is? So how exactly you can use a different AI tools which is available in the AWS. So if let's say you want to go with the AI or let's say you want to go with the other tool, so these certifications is very much important. Then the next level here you can see this associate level. Now one of the most popular certifications is AWS Solution Architect. Now why exactly? Because the solution architect it means what? It's like design, manage, planning and secure the AWS account. So here, AWS, this specific course is talk about all the foundational level of entire services, whether it is your authentication authorization, whether it is storage, whether it is the EC2 or virtualizations, containerizations, serverless containerizations, database, networking, security, everything this certification cover. So that's the reason the certification is very currently more popular in the market. Now reason is that let's say if the AWS, as I just now I say that AWS is alien for you can start with the cloud practitioner, but let's say you can directly jump to the AWS solution architect associate. Because in Learnomate, we are also going to cover all the basic things which you required to understand the solution architect. So actually, we are going to, we are also covering the AWS Cloud Foundation and also the solution architect as well. Then you also have the other products like you have the SysOps administrator, you also have the developer associate, data engineer. Now developer, it means what? It's not like that how exactly you can work on the code or how you can design the code or how you can run the program. No, again, as I say that how exactly, no, you help developer to run or manage your entire developer things on AWS. So here also we cover a lot of many things, right? For an example, we cover CI/CD pipelines. We also cover how exactly you can manage the codes, right? So we also cover containerization, serverless in the specific developer associate. SysOps administrator, it just like the how exactly you can manage the AWS account. So here you need to understand some little bit about the troubleshooting and also how exactly you can create a repeatable deployment as well. Then these two certification launch recently, that is data engineer associate and also a machine learning specialty. When I say the data engineer associate, it means, let's say you have some background, right? Let's say you have some background on the data science, data analytics, right? So you can definitely go ahead with the data engineer associate. Or let's say you want to work on the some ML related things, machine learning. You can also start with the machine learning. But as I said that, why exactly this AWS Solution Architect Associate is more familiar? Now the reason is that because here it cover all the basic things about the AWS, and it cover everything on a depth. So now let's say if you want to, if the AWS is completely new to you, then it is always recommended that you can start your journey with the solution architect, and then it is very easy for you to go with any type of certifications which is available in the AWS. Next level that you have, that is in professional level. So in the professional level, you have a two things, that's an solution architect professional and DevOps professional as well. So now this solution architect professional, it's advanced level of solution architect associate. And it is very complex environment you will find here. You need to deal with very complex and very high availability, durability, everything that you need to configure here in the solution architect professional. So AWS recommend that you can appear for this exam if you have a 2 years of experience in the AWS. But it is just a recommendation, but you can give this exam anytime as well. Then this DevOps engineer, it's a combination of your SysOps and developer associate. That is DevOps, that is in developer operationals. That's the combinations, it become the DevOps engineer professional. And now let's say you have some specialty. Let's say you have a strong experience on the networking, you have a strong experience on the securities, machine learning. You can also go ahead with these kind of the certification. That's the advanced networking specialty, machine learning specialty, and security specialty. So here, these are a specific, right? A specific services that you are going to understand. For an example, here in security, obviously you are giving a security for the entire AWS, not for the your on-premises. So in security, you have a different services. Like for an example, how you can manage the DDoS or DOS attack, how exactly you can manage the malicious attack, or let's say how you can manage the vulnerabilities in a AWS. So those are AWS has a different services. So the specific services is talk about how exactly you can resolve those issues by become the security specialist. Same thing for the networking. Okay, so if you have a background of the Cisco, let's say networkings, firewalls, you can also definitely go with the advanced networking specialty where you'll understand about how exactly you can manage the AWS and on-premises network, how exactly you can connect, how exactly you can use a direct connect, okay, or how exactly you can use a VPN. That's the virtual private cloud or the virtual tunneling. How exactly you can do that? That explain, no, you will get in the advanced networking specialty. So there is a question from the Jerome that I'm at the Oracle and MS SQL DBA. Which one is preferred for the database admin? So, Jerome, earlier there is a specialty certification, that is database specialty. So that's recently that certification is no, retired from the AWS. So for that, AWS also has the data engineer associate. So what you can do is you can complete the training of the architecture where you will understand the basic things which is required to understand the Oracle and MS SQL, because in AWS there is a Oracle, that is NoSQL and SQL database is already there. But how exactly you can configure, how you can provide, or how you can deploy on the virtual machine. So everything first you will just understand, and then you can go with the data engineer associate where you will understand about everything about the databases. Make sense, Jerome? I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Yeah. Let me know if you have any additional question. I'm happy to help you. Now here, one thing is that, so this specific, right, foundational level certification. So this foundational level certification, the cost is the $100, right? Then the validity of the certification is 3 year. Associate, the cost is $150. I'm talking about the certification cost. Okay, so the associate cost is the $150. Professional cost is $300, and security specialty, or sorry, only specialty certification cost is also $300. And all are the 3 year validity. Now here, right? Right. So now here, the one trick is that, let's say you complete the cloud practitioner foundational, right? So you pay $100. And now once you clear the exam, AWS also provide you a 50% coupon code, and that you can apply for any next exam. So for example, the cost of this associate is $150, then you will get those exam in $75. Let's say you completed developer associate, right? By paying 50%, again you clear the exam, you pass the exam, you will get a 3 year certifications, and now again you will get a 50% coupon code, and that you can apply to the solution architect or DevOps. It means what? Here the cost is, the default cost is $300, but because you have a 50% coupon code, so it means what? The cost is $150. And it's not like that. First, you will have to go with the foundational level, then associate, then professional and specialty. No, you can jump to any exam. That is not recommended that you will have to start with the cloud practitioner only. So if you talk about my example, right? So 5, 6 years back, completed the solution architect associate. And then obviously, as you know, that my main bread and butter is the security. So once I completed this solution architect associate, I directly jumped to the AWS security specialty. I cleared that exam as well. Then I completed the professional. I also completed DevOps engineer, and now okay, I also completed the developer associate as well. And now I'm going for this AI practitioner foundation in next week. So I already booked my exam, and I'm attending these practitioner exam in the next week. So it means it's not an compulsory that you will have to start with the foundation or associate. You can jump to any certifications. I'm talking about the exam. Let me see some questions. So the training, who said that? Ashfaq said that the training you are going to provide in this training that covers solution architect associate or professional. So as I said, I'm going to cover this practitioner foundational plus the solution architect associate. That's the combination. So here the solution architect professional is very tough. For an example, if you ask me that, okay, tell me, Amir, what is a top 5 certification which is very hard certification, or which is very hard to achieve that certification. So solution architect professional is one of those certifications which is very, very, very tough. So that's the reason AWS recommended that you must have at least 2 years of experience on the AWS. So the next means once you clear solution architect, and then I suggest you that you can have some experience, and then you can go with the solution architect professional. Got it, Ashfaq? Makes sense? Makes sense, Ashfaq? Can you just reply? Okay, thank you. Any question, folks, in the certification path before I move to this architecture associate? Now, I'm just going to launch one virtual machines. Any question, folks? Anything that you have in your mind? If you feel that, okay, everything is clear about certification, just give me a thumbs up on the chat, or you can just type done or all clear something, acknowledgement, everyone. I can see there are more than 38 participants. Only one give me a thumbs up. What about other folks? I hope you are there. Now, in the solution architect associate, the one of the most or core services Okay, so you can contact our team and you can check that what exactly we are going to cover in the solution architect. It means what are the different topics. So as I said that we are going to cover all the foundational service of the AWS, which is very important. For example, again repeat, in the architecture in upcoming sessions, we are going to cover about the authentication authorizations, how exactly we can manage this. Then we are also going to cover storage in AWS, virtualizations, how exactly virtualization work, that also we are going to cover. We are also going to cover the networking. We are also going to cover the containerizations, the serverless databases. In databases, we have the NoSQL and SQL, that is the relational database, and non-relational database. We are also going to cover automations, how exactly you can do that, how exactly automation help you. And we are also going to cover about the DR in the AWS, that's in backup services. So if you want to know more on that, what exactly the granular topic or more topic you are interested, please contact our team. They will help you to share the brochure as well. So today in next 30 minutes or 20 minutes, now I'm going to explain you that how exactly we can launch the instance. Now, when I talk about the EC2 instance, it means what? That is the virtual machine in the cloud. Before that, let me explain you the case study. Why exactly we require it? What exactly the benefit of this? So I hope everyone know about the Flipkart. Am I correct, folks? Everyone at least open the Flipkart website or purchase something on the Flipkart. Am I correct? What do you think? Yes, no, everyone? What do you think? And and you have also seen about the big billion day. Am I correct? The big billion day, everyone? The big billion day. You already know the big billion day, right? So now for an example, let's say we open these kind of the e-commerce website, right? We open these kind of the e-commerce website, let's say 5 or 10 times in a week, right? No matter whether we are going to purchase or not, at least we try to open to check the price and everything. And let's say if you have a big billion day, Black Friday sale, let's say any holiday sales or something, obviously on that specific day we open the website at least 2 3 times. It means what? On that specific day, on that specific big billion day, the load is very high. You can say more than 100x. If you remember the first Flipkart big billion day, the very first big billion day, anyone remember the first Flipkart big billion day? Anyone remember what happened in that? Anyone, folks? The first Flipkart big billion day. So if you remember that the Flipkart website, okay, went down within a 2 or 3 minutes. So what happened is that they have decided to have some big billion day, first big billion day. So their entire server is on premises. And now what happened? The website, right, working very fine. And as I said that their entire workloads on their on-premises environment. So their website, their applications, payment gateway, everything is on the on-premises website. Website was working fine, there was no issue, and now they have decided to conduct a big billion day. Now what happened after 12 in the night when they announced a big billion day? Everyone was trying to access the Flipkart website. Why? Because they have announced a very good discount prices. And now what will happen exactly here? Because of they can't predict the load here, right? And what happened? Their server, their on-premises server is not that much compatible to handle the request. And now the result is a server crash. It means the entire year website working fine, but only for that specific day the website went down. The reason is that they are not able to handle these much load. Their server, their compute is not that much powerful. So now then what exactly the solution? They want to conduct these kind of the big billion day, but what exactly the solution? So let's say someone say that, okay, what we can do, we can purchase the same exactly hardware, right? But now let's say if they purchase the entire same hardware, then what will happen exactly? Obviously, they need to bear a huge cost. And obviously their resource utilization is hardly 1 or 2%. Now, why exactly? Because the entire year the website working fine, it means the entire year their on-premises server is compatible to handle the load, but they need some additional compute capacity only for the 1 day or let's say 2 or 5 days in a year, and the rest of the year their hardware or or on new servers may be sitting idle because that is not required. And obviously they need to invest the huge money. Not only the huge money, they also need a space, they also need the, let's say, electricity, cooling things, a person who manage it, for the hardware security, everything they need to manage it. So now what exactly the solution in this case? So now the solution in this case is simply that we can go to the AWS and we can rent out the server for the 1 or 2 days, and we just need to pay the cost, the whatever you use or consume on that specific day, you just need to pay it, and that's it. It means what? What I can do is I can rent out the server from the AWS, that's an EC2. And once the server is rent out, I can use the load balancer and I can move the traffic. For an example, 20 or 30% traffic is managed by my on-premises server, and 80% or more than 80% traffic is managed by the our EC2 instances. And now what exactly the benefit is that? No, both can handle the request, and in case if the load is higher, more than expected, let's say 200 time, then EC2 can also increase. It means here the EC2 also provides some additional compute capacity to manage those requests. And now you can see after that first big billion day to till now, all the big billion day was superly conduct without any single downtime as well. So now here, I hope you understand the case study why we require that. And this EC2 instance is one of the most widely services in the AWS. So today, I'm going to showcase you that how exactly we can launch the instance, that is the Linux machine, then how exactly we can provide or we can deploy a one single web server here. So let's get started. In between, if you have any questions, you can type on the chat. So now I'm going to launch one simple EC2 instance here. Okay, and I'm just saying that my instance name is a simple, let's say, a web server. That's my name. And now here you can see that there are many operating system is available in AWS. Where you want to launch the Linux machine, whether you want to launch Mac machine, Red Hat machines, SUSE Linux, Ubuntu, Microsoft Windows, Debian operating system, and many more operating system that you can launch it from here. So this is a plain operating system. Okay, some of the operating system also has pre-built SQL applications as well. For example, here you can see there are many OS where you will find the SQL Server 2022 standard. It isn't pre-built with the operating system. Okay, so RK, as I said that, what you can do, you can just reach out to our team. We will share you a complete curriculum of the course. But as I said that, we are going to cover entire the foundational services, like from the databases, like say the virtualizations, containerization, serverless containerizations, networking, virtualizations, then automations, everything we cover. For exact curriculum, please reach out to the team. We will share you the browser at your end. Make sense, RK? So now here, what we can do is we can no, we can so no, I'll just there is a only small topic of the migrations introductions because AWS has a separate migration things. Okay, so migration is very big topic where you want to migrate your entire on-premises to the AWS, or let's say from the another vendor, that is the Azure or someone, to the AWS. So where we cover the database migration services and some other services as well, but that is a complete separate certifications. Okay. So now, folks, as I said that, okay, these are the plain operating system, right? A completely a single operating system. So on this specific demo, I'm going to launch one Amazon Linux machine, right? So I'll just say that let's select the Amazon Linux machine. I want to launch the Amazon 2023 AMI. Here you can see I launch the specific instance. I mean to say a operating system. Then below that you can see now we just choose a instance. Now we also need to choose a hardware here. So now for here AWS has a different instance type. Okay. Now what exactly those type? Let me showcase you. So now let's say you go to the any shop. Let's say you want to purchase a laptop. You go to the some shops. Obviously that salesman will attend you and say that, okay, hi, my name is this. Tell me which kind of the laptop you want to purchase. It means what? First, they will ask you that what exactly your use case is, why you exactly you want to purchase a laptop. So you said that, okay, I'm a gamer and I want to play a very high graphics game. Please show me the some model. So obviously that salesperson understand your requirement and they will show you that, okay, these are the 6 or 7 type of laptop that we have available. We have Asus laptop. Okay, we also have some the HP laptops game series. Okay, so that specific model they will show to their customer. They will not show you that, okay, these are the elite book or let's say the enterprise model. No, because obviously I want to play or that customer want to play a very high graphics game. And for that, hardware is completely different. They also required the graphics card as well. Another customer again visited that same shop. Now same no a salesman attend that customer and again he has the questions that, okay, what exactly the use case is. So the person say that, okay, I just want to play, I just want to watch some video and play some PPT. It's a general purpose. Obviously, that salesperson will not introduce now that gaming laptop. So he'll say that, okay, you can go with the Lenovo, or let's say you can go with the Elite book, okay, where we have provide the i5 or i7 generations, then some 50 or 60 GB of RAM and 1 TB of hard disk. It means what? Based on the requirement, okay, the hardware is completely changed. That is your requirement. Now here, okay, in your workload, you also have some different use cases, right? So let's say, okay, let's say you are, you want to run some websites, you want to host the website. So it's not like that you can choose anything from the here. So let's say you can choose a random one. Let's say, for an example, like here you can say T2.2 extra large, where I have 32 GB of memory. Okay, let's choose this. No. So here you can see it is a completely based on the requirement. So in the left side, you can see these are the categories of the website. For an example, here you can see the categories. It means Here you can see a general purpose, a compute optimized, memory optimized, accelerate computing, storage optimized, and also the HPC optimized as well. What exactly these are? These are a different categories. And now let's say in that categories, let's say you choose a compute categories. Now what exactly the compute categories, why exactly required? So you can see the use cases here, right? So this compute optimized, it means a very high performance compute. If you have a batch processing, video encoding, gaming, scientific modeling, right, the machine learning, you can also choose these specific instances. Then the storage optimized, let's say you have some databases, you want to run your databases. Then you can, let's say you have some DynamoDB, or let's say MySQL, PostgreSQL. These are the service that you want to run. Let's say you want to run some real-time analytics. Then you can't choose the compute optimized. That time you need to choose a storage optimized, where they will provide a input output per second constant. So now here, based on requirement, you can choose the hardware. It means based on requirement, first we choose a operating system, and now just now we choose the hardware here. Then how exactly you authenticate it? It means obviously you are going to launch this virtual machine for the someone, and someone, how they can access it. So they will access it via the key pair. That's nothing but your, the authentication, that is nothing but your password. So let's say I create a password from, or let's say I just give the name. This is just a general name I'm giving, and it create some key pair here, that is an encrypted file here. Then here you will see where exactly you want to launch the instance. As I said, that networking will also guide you that how, what exactly the networking in AWS. So when we talk about the networking, it means you need to create a different environment. For an example, you might need to launch your virtual machine or EC2 in a production environment, or let's say QA environment, or let's say development environment. So you need to create those environment here. So the VPC is also a very big topic, where we'll understand how exactly we can create environment, how exactly the useful is. So as of now, I'm just choosing a default one. That's no default VPC. That's a default network. Here you can choose a firewall settings, right? Firewall, it means what? That is a barrier between your internet connections and your network. And now here I just say that I only want to access the instance, and at the same time I also want to allow the HTTP as well, because why? I'm going to create one server here. Which server? That's my web server, and my customer is going to access my web server using HTTP. So that's the reason I just allow the HTTP here. I just configure the storage, right? For example, here you will find a different storage type as well. And every storage has their they have some unique USPs. Okay, they have also a unique meaning. So at the moment, I'll just choose a default one. I'll also explain you in the detail that what exactly these one, when to choose what. I'll also explain. But this is just a demo. And now here you can see these are some advanced details. How exactly you can create more granular permissions, where you need to shut down your machines, how exactly the behavior, whether there are some protections you want to apply. And obviously we can't sit in front of your AWS console 24 by 7. So you also need some alarm from the AWS. For example, let's say this EC2 instance goes more than 90% of CPU utilization. Obviously, I need alarm on my email ID or the mobile phone. So for that, you need to create a CloudWatch. CloudWatch is in monitoring services. So we will also no, enable that, and that is different services. Then you can choose a tenancies and everything. Here is an important thing, that is a user data, that is also called a bootstrap script. Now let's say, as I said that I'm going to launch one web server. And obviously to create this web server, I also required to deploy some applications, supported thing. For an example, I need to deploy a Apache here. That is a web server. So in case if it is Linux, obviously it's an Apache. But let's say if it is in Windows, then I'm going to deploy the, let's say, IIS, that is Internet Information Services here. So now I need to deploy it. Now what exactly the process? So now for an example, first I need to launch the instance, then I need to launch the I need to launch or deploy the Linux machine, the Apache web server. Then I need to deploy my websites and everything, and then I start the servers. So it's a long process. I need some automation here. So for automations, what we can do is we can also deploy some script here. Now, what exactly those script? So for example, these scripts. So in that script, what exactly I mentioned? So this is bash script. I just mentioned that yum space update space hyphen y. It means let's take the operating system update. And after that, I just say that let's install the httpd space y. It means what? Let's install the Apache. And after that, I'll just say that let's start those services. Let's, for example, service space httpd space start. And after that, I'll just say that, okay, just check the configuration and make sure it's always on. Then I just go to the HTML directory, right? And I'll just create one echo space index.html. It means I just create one index.html and I'll just mention that this is my website. I want to display this is my website whenever I'm accessing my web server in a browser. So let's launch the instance. Oh, sorry. So it launching my instance. So there is a question from Prateek that I'm currently working as a technical support engineer. How I switch into the AWS cloud? My target is to switch into the AWS cloud. Awesome, correct. So let's say Prateek. So as I said that in the cloud you have a different way. So you have the architectures, you have the developer, you also have the databases, data analytics, DevOps. You have a different way. Now, based on the experience, let's say, for an example, you have experience of operationals or let's say administrator. Let's say you are into some application supports or let's say OS support. Then what else suggest that? Let's say, for an example, you complete the training about the architectures because the architecture is a root of the AWS. That is the reason this specific certification is very popular nowadays. The reason is that it cover everything which is required for any organizations. So Pratik, I suggest you that you can start your career by completing the AWS Solution Architect Associate so that you can show your previous example, and this certifications is just nothing but a cherry on top. Make sense, Pratik? Other folks, do you have any questions? I'm just taking your 2-3 minutes. The instance is starting now. It will take another 1 minute to launch the instance. Thank you, Pratik. It's take some, you can see it's initializing. It's launching the instance now. To access my web server, I just need to copy the public IP. So whenever we launch the EC2 instance, it launch so it assign one public IP or it also assign a private IP address. What are the info that we should hide from others from the AWS account, like key? Yeah, so if you want to provide the access to the AWS, then you will have to provide the keys. Or let's say you can also provide the access by using different method as well. So for an example, you can also create SSO, single sign-on, or else you can also provide a system manager access as well. If the person is accessing outside of the AWS, then obviously you need to provide the key. Okay, without key, you cannot access the EC2 instance. So it's not about the hiding things. So you can apply a security groups where I just allow only SSH, HTTP, right? Only the things. It means there are total 65,535 ports available. I only allow only two. So by default, I'll get the security. So there is nothing like and you can hide. Okay, but you can provide a greater securities. So let me refresh. My internet is a little bit slow today. Okay, so now folks, here you can see the instance is launched successfully. Okay, our web server is launched successfully. Let's test it. Still in process. It is not an HTTP, it is yes, it is HTTP only. And here we go. You can see my web server is ready now. I just share the IP address. Can you try type on the browser and let me know whether it is accessible or not? Everyone, can you please check in the browser? So RSK, sorry, I don't know your name. So that's the reason. Let's say you're from the non-tech background. That is the reason that AWS launched the cloud practitioner, the specific certifications. So no matter whether you have a knowledge of the cloud, or let's say you're from the non-tech background, and let's say if you want to launch the certifications, then you can start your journey with the cloud practitioner where they will explain you everything from the scratch. So here you can see that there is a prerequisite mentions here. Earlier it is mentioned. Earlier it's mentioned. This isn't something new. See here, you can see that it is clearly mentioned on the AWS website as well. So this is a good starting point on the AWS certification journey for individual with no prior IT or cloud experience, switching to the cloud career for the line of business. Okay, so it means you don't require any prior experience or the IT knowledge to start your careers. So we'll explain those things here as well. So everyone, I just need your confirmation whether you are able to access my HTTP website, right? And you can also access these specific instance, right? So let's access the instance. So I'll just say connect, and I'll just say that let's connect the instance. Thank you, Viraj, Lokesh, Ashfaq. And now I'm here, you can say, I'm just launching the EC2 instance. So if you have the access of AWS, you can directly connect the instance from here. And now let's say if you don't have access, so you can also use putty application, you can also use command prompt, you can also use some other tools to access the instance. So now I'm just accessing my instance through the command prompt. How can I can access? So I'll just type SSH space EC2 hyphen user, and I just provide my IP address of my public instance. And then I also need to provide the key pair file. So for example, I create a key pair hyphen, yes, let me check, I forgot the name. I'm just providing my theme file, and here go, I can access my instance from here as well. And you can see I'm currently accessing the instance here. This is my EC2 instance. And here also you can see where it is. Yeah, here you can see this is also a same instance. I can work this simultaneously as well. Clear, folks? Yes, you can also access, but the only thing is that you require a PEM file. You can see here. If I share PEM file, amir-mumbai.pem, you can also access, Viraj. Okay, I'm open to question and answer. If you have any questions, anything that you have your mind related to the sessions, course, anything, I'm open for that. So this is just a small demo where I explain you that how you can launch a most widely used services that's an EC2 and how exactly you can use it. And just now I also explain you the use cases, why exactly we required. In case if you have any questions, anything that you have in your mind, then please feel free to ask. Please ask the question. This is this is the time that you can utilize. If you have any questions in your mind, anything, then please ask me. I'm here. Else, if no questions, then we can wind up the session. We have still 5 minutes, folks. I'll wait another 1 minute. If you have any questions, sir, how AWS recruit candidates? So see, once you complete this certification or this thing, it's not like you will get the job only on the AWS only. As I said that Viraj, AWS is a product, right? So AWS has a huge customer base. And as I said that everyone using the AWS. So it's not like that you get a recruit only in the AWS. There are many organizations where you get a chance to work on the AWS. So if you have, so if you are completely freshers, you can also start applying with the cloud architecture job or let's say cloud engineer jobs. Okay, where they will ask the questions which is rated in the certifications, whatever you have completed. So that is the first step there where you can enter into the cloud. Faiji say that how much time will it take to learn AWS for the data engineer? For a complete beginner, I know Hadoop, Spark, have edge-based Docker. So see, for the data engineer, okay, it takes more than 60 plus hour to complete the course syllabus. Okay. So, but I'll suggest if the AWS is not alien, at least if the AWS is alien for you, at least you complete the cloud practitioner. Now, the reason is that in the data engineer, they will not teach you or the syllabus is not talk about that what exactly the instance, how you can launch it, what exactly the security groups, right? Then the public IP, VPC. So AWS is a product you need to have some basic information before you start learning. All right. So those informations you will get in the cloud practitioner and the architecture. Once you complete that, okay, the data engineer is very easy, and that is for the 60-hour course duration. Quite easy. Yeah, for the architecture also, it's on 60 hours, in between 50 to 60 hours. My training time is 55 hours and 5 hours plus for the let's say question answer and some additional. So our SK say that the entry level sufficient to get the job. Yes. So the solution architect associate, it's not an easy, although it is an entry level, but it's not an easy. It is also one of the toughest certifications. Okay. Where, for an example, the question is about the entire MCQ base and it's a completely scenario base. So the exam is not easy. For that, you need to take a lot of efforts to have these or achieve these certifications. So that's the reason architecture has a more weightage and that's the reason more popular. Yes, AWS is a product Viraj, like Azure, GCP. These are a product. Victus, I don't know. I don't whether you get the recording. Although we are recording the session, please reach out to the team. They will provide you if the recording is available. Okay, awesome. I guess you don't have any questions. Let us know if you have any questions, anything related to this. So please fill up the form which is available on the chat. Okay, I request everyone to please fill up the form. Do let us know if you have any questions. So thank you, folks, for joining the sessions. Have a great day. Enjoy evening. Thank you. That's my time.